This is a bad idea. It's such a terrible idea. It's very easy for you to say. This is normal for you. It's home for you. But I'm not supposed to be here. I was already taking risks by abducting you. But now, I am planetside, eating lunch in the middle of a human city. We were supposed to be going to my homeworld. How did you talk me into this? Just a quick visit before we leave. Yes, that's how you talked me into it. What a fool I was to listen. Listen to me. I am normally so composed, so logical, but I just can't think right now. Why am I even here? It was a rhetorical question. I'm just starting to wonder if seeing humans in their natural habitat is worth the risk of exposure. If this hologram fails, I'll have every law enforcement officer in the sector coming to send me home for trial. Granted, but the members of my species already living here, they are risk takers. They are brave. I am not like them. No, honestly, I'm just not very hungry. You can have it. No, really, Fine. This... No, it's good, actually. But very hard. It's not at all like the food I'm used to. I suppose what I eat is much more heavily processed. No, I know that it's safe. I thoroughly tested samples of human food to check for dangerous substances. Our respective biochemistries aren't terribly different from each other. Just another bizarre coincidence that makes our species compatible against all odds. I suppose chemical analysis was all it took to calm me back down. You might find this terribly shocking, but I am much more comfortable in a lab than out in the field. If not for my obsession with learning about humans, I probably would never have left the homeworld. Everything is so much more controlled in a lab, specifically under my control. Not that I've really felt much in control lately, even in the lab. You've thrown everything into disarray. Oh, you know I don't mean it that way. It's my fault for expecting humans to be simple to understand. I should have known better. Anything that consistently elicits such an illogical response in a ways as scientifically advanced as mine must be a nigh incomprehensible wonder. It was terribly naive of me to be so surprised to be surprised. I must say though, seeing a human city close up, it makes it slightly more understandable. You all live in such chaos. I think you have to be unpredictable to survive here. Just look around. The person over there ordered long ago and hasn't dared ask whether they forgot their order. But that one has been asking for updates every few minutes. And the one over there isn't even ordering. They are just complaining about the menu. Of course, observation is my job. There wasn't any point in coming here if I wasn't going to watch and see what the humans are actually like. Yes, of course. You're right. We are also here for us. A date, right? A real date this time. But back to what I was saying. My civilization is built on a comprehensive list of best practices. We all try our best to follow the list, because it's the most efficient and precise way of doing things. It's actually rather common amongst sapient species to find the one best process for doing something. But you don't tend to do that. You all do things in whatever manner comes to mind. Whatever is familiar or comfortable or consistent with your experience. It's dizzyingly confusing. And yet, you all treat it like it's simple. It makes me worry. What if I can't handle being with a human? Even for a member of my race, I am a slave to proper procedure. If I can't even eat a meal with you in your native environment without panicking, what will I do when things actually get complicated? Because they will. No, of course not. I do want this. Everything about you is so alluring and exciting. You're like some kind of supernatural being out of mythology. Too perfect for a mere mortal like me. But maybe I am not worthy. Maybe it wasn't meant for me. Maybe I just need to... That was sudden. I wasn't prepared. Well, if you wanted to calm me down, that was not the way to go. I am more worked up than ever. But in a good way this time. Thank you. I am glad you don't find me too boring. I always suspected that was part of why my last relationship ended. I wanted everything to be controlled, predictable, calm. How could that compare to the thrill and unpredictability of a human? I appreciate the thought, though you being so kind just seems to make you and every other human even more stunning. You have every reason to be annoyed with me for all I've put you through. And yet, you keep saying such sweet things. I think that part of it might be you specifically, actually. Not all the humans here seem to be quite as kind as you. But the physical attributes I discovered during my first examination of you seem to be everywhere in your species. You all have different body proportions, and yet they're also appealing. The heavy ones look soft and cuddleable. The slender ones look sleek and graceful. Tall, short, muscled. Everyone looks breathtaking regardless. Oh, and the smell. I told you you smell pleasant, didn't I? Well, when you're all together, it makes me feel like I'm practically floating. I'm actually sending data back to the ship for my brain implant because I'm worried it might be acting like some kind of recreational drug. Ah, yes. Yes, you're right. I really shouldn't be fawning over all the humans that I see when you are the human I'm on a date with. And no matter how lovely the other ones are, I wouldn't choose any of them over you. It really has surprised me how attached I've gotten to you. I think perhaps if I'd chosen a different human, they would have remained nothing but a test subject, if an alluring one. But my fate was sealed because I chose to abduct you. I couldn't have prevented myself from falling for you if I tried. And really, I did. Yes, I've rarely been able to speak as boldly as this to you. I think that kiss of yours gave me the courage I needed to speak my feelings. It's things like that that truly amaze me about your species. You have this odd ability to change us. There's no way for me to measure it, or even prove that it exists. But I can directly observe its effects. My opinion of your species, and even my entire outlook on life, is different thanks to spending only a handful of days with you. And of course, many others of my species have changed after meeting one of you. It's beautiful, but it actually worries me a bit. For the time being, we are mostly avoiding humans for fear of those changes. But what happens if it catches on? If more of my kind start flooding the earth en masse? The truth will certainly come out, that's for certain. You'll learn of our existence. And then what? I'd hate it if humans began to be treated as some kind of possession or resource. You're all just so desirable, so valuable. I don't know if we'll handle it the right way or not. But there's not much point in worrying about it right now, is there? At the moment, it's just you and me here, enjoying our date. I think I'll be much calmer when we're on the way to my homeworld. Everything makes so much more sense there. Now tell me, how exactly do I eat this thing here?